All right, well, welcome, ladies, to our December webinar. We're going to be talking about our 5 favorite strategies for a family-focused, streamlined, highly profitable business. I don't know about you, but that sounds good to me, and I know that so many of you want this. You want a business where it's really built around your family, where you're utilizing your time wisely. I mean, I know many of my clients want to work their business in part-time hours. So for me, that's really important that I work just while my son is at school, but that this isn't a hobby, right, that I want to make a highly, highly profitable business. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And again, a lot of folks who actually signed up for this webinar are completely new to me, completely new to my list. So some of you may be like, who is this Claire character? So just real quickly, I have been in training for as long as I can remember. I mean, that's what I did in my corporate world. I was always in corporate training and coaching for more than 15 years, probably going on 16, 17 years now. Actually went and got my master's degree in training at NC State down here in Raleigh, North Carolina. And then my first, dipping my toe, if you will, in the in-home business arena happened about 10 years ago. It was with Mary Kay organization, a great organization. I actually was a sales director. My favorite part was having a whole unit of women who I was able to train. I had a weekly training meeting and loved that. But took all of that and actually coupled it with a couple of life experiences. Again, some of you that are completely new to me, never heard this story, but just real quick, it was about 7 years ago. My son was just born. He was about 3 months old. And I had been diagnosed with advanced breast cancer, and it was super advanced. It spread, and it was a unique type of cancer. So I did not have very high chances of survival, if you will, but I'm still here, healthy as can be. God obviously has a purpose for me, and I'm meant to be here. But that really was one of the biggest blessings. Even though that may sound strange, it was one of the biggest blessings to give me such a unique life perspective. And what it didn't create this bitterness or why me, but instead it was this burning desire to grow into the wife, the mom, and the woman that I want to be. And that's really what I bring into my business as well. I mean, I bring that into my business because I know so many people are the same, right, where they've got hopes, they've got dreams, and I have dedicated my life to help folks like you who want the same thing that I did. Just for those of you that know, my husband, he's a teacher, and I love that he's a teacher. Now, being a teacher in North Carolina, which is like one of the lowest paid states, unfortunately, they received a decrease about 6 years ago and then haven't received any increase at all in the last 6 years, and things that are just being taken away and benefit-wise. And so the reality was, okay, now I had this deep burning desire, right, to be home and to be that active wife and mom and friend and church member and, woman that I wanted to be. But the reality was, in order to do that, I need a significant income, right? We would not be able to live on my husband's income. That was the reality. And I know many of you are the same for whatever reason, right? Whatever reason. You want to be home, and you also want that incredibly successful business and profitable business. So that is what I believe my purpose is to breathe belief into women like you that you can absolutely do it and not doing one at the expense of the other. So my differentiating factor is who I help, specifically is service-based women entrepreneurs. So not so much folks who are selling a product like Mary Kay, for example, but service-based women entrepreneurs, meaning that you are selling your time and your expertise, right? You're packaging what you have to offer to help folks solve problems. So they may be problems with their business, having a more successful business, or with their life, creating the life that they've always wanted to live. Maybe their health and wellness, if you're a holistic doctor or a health coach. So that's specifically who I help. And I specifically help folks who have that same burning desire as me, who want their cake and eat it too, if you will, for lack of a better phrase. Folks who want to build their business around their family and not the other way around, right? Who figure out, when is it that I want to work, and now how can I help as many people as possible during those hours, and to then be able to model their business in a way that it's super streamlined. So like I said, it's important that I work just during the day. While my son is at school, I work from about 9 to 3:30. So for me to really figure out, well, how do I streamline my offerings so that I'm helping folks, helping them get results while only me working during the day. So if you're one who just loves to work, 60 hours a week, 80 hours a week, I'm probably not going to be one that resonates with you. If you're figuring out, well, how can I make this work in, 20 hours a week, 30 hours a week, that's what I'm all about. And hopefully you'll hear, especially those who are completely new to me, hopefully you'll hear during this presentation that I'm all about breathing belief into you. And I'm sure part of it is because of my faith. I mean, I do believe that your desire to have this business, right, this family-focused, streamlined, highly profitable business was planted deep in your heart for a reason, right? I don't think God's messing with you. I think you can absolutely do it. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow. But do I have 100% belief that you can absolutely get where you want to go? Yes. I don't know when, I don't know how, but know that. And know that belief, I mean, sometimes that's one of the biggest things growing a business, right? It's like the biggest professional development journey we're ever going to experience, right? Because we have those moments of doubt. We have those moments of lack of confidence, right? And it happens to all of us, every single one. So remember that I'm sort of sitting there on your shoulder, breathing belief into you, saying, you can do this, girl. You can do it. With focus, with effort, you can absolutely do it. And what I'm super passionate about helping women get are getting those results in the quickest, easiest way. So let's get you this business, this family-focused, streamlined, highly profitable business in the easiest, quickest way. And I think what you'll discover is the results that you want. Now, all of you that are listening to this call are different, right? You all have different businesses, and where you're at in your business is different. But I bet that I can boil down the results that you want, that you want to figure out how to easily grow your list, right? You want more and more people to hear about you, more and more ideal leads to hear about you that are interested in what you've got to offer, and now that you're developing that relationship, right? So you want to grow your list. You want more and more people to hear about you and your business, so that marketing piece is just happening naturally. And you also want more sales, right? You want to bring in that, whatever your monthly profitability number is, whether it's $3,000, $5,000, $8,000, you want a way where you're not stressing about it, right, where you're making more and more sales, and ultimately then that you have packaged your offering, the problems that you solve, in a way that it almost sells itself. That offer sells itself because you are describing in a way where that audience is hungry for those results. So you want to grow your list. You want to make more and more sales, meaning that you want to easily help folks while hitting your profitability number. And you want to be able to figure out, well, how do I fit this all in? Well, my son's at school or whatever that schedule may look like for you. But the reality is, ladies, it's probably a heck of a lot easier than you think. Truly. It's a heck of a lot easier than you think. So many of us are just overcomplicating things, right? We're overcomplicating it. Less is more when it comes to getting these results, truly. So I'm not going to tell you, okay, if you want to get these results, work more, work harder. I'm not going to tell you that at all, okay? So again, as we go through this talk, as we go through this conversation today, just know that less is more. And again, that I believe in you. I'm here to help. At the very end, for those of you who've never had the opportunity for us to chat, I'm just going to give you a free opportunity for us to get on the phone and chat and see what this could look like for you. What could a family-focused, streamlined business model look like for you? How might you be able to package your offerings so that you're able to do it all, right? To help folks, to make sales, and to do it in a way that fits within your schedule. All right, so this model that I am super passionate about helping folks achieve, again, who is it for? So it's for the service-based woman entrepreneur, like I said, so you're helping folks solve their problems. And you are the offer, right? You are the offer. You help people through your time, your expertise, your knowledge, through mentoring. You help them solve these problems. And it's best for people who are already confident that this is your gig, right, that you're in the right business, that this is what you're meant to do, not for those that are in the very early stages that aren't quite sure what that business is and who exactly it is that you are most meant and most confident and capable of helping. It's also for people who already have the basics of their business up and running. So again, they know who they help and how they help them, and you've been helping clients already. So you've already been helping clients get results. And it is perfect for those women who feel like they are on the verge. They are on the verge of one way or the other, right? And maybe it depends on the day. Someday they feel like they are on the verge of success. They feel like, the pieces are coming together, but I'm just not consistently hitting the income number. That consistent income just isn't coming in, but they feel like they're so close, and just with a couple of small, changes and tweaks. But then other days they feel like, oh my gosh, I should just throw in the towel. Like, I should just throw in the towel. Who am I fooling? Am I going to ever figure this out? So if you're on the verge, one way or the other, again, depending on maybe sometimes, the day, then this model is so doable for you. So again, it's perfect for, this is a visual, it is perfect for folks that are right in that middle. So what I have here is an acorn seed, a sapling, and a solid oak tree. And this is going to be the journey that every single one of us as business owners go through. So it starts with the acorn, right? And that's when you're just starting out your business. And it's a seed of desire at that point, right? And you want to figure out this business thing, but you're almost sort of throwing spaghetti against the wall and seeing what sticks, right? You're figuring out, okay, well, what's my business name, and what is this the right business, or should I be doing that business, and who is it that I can help, and what should I be selling, and what should my packages look like? And you're just trying to figure it all out. Maybe you haven't even worked with that many clients to help them get results yet. And then you get to be the sapling. And the sapling is where all of your hard work, that consistent work where you were doing for the first number of years without maybe seeing huge results from it, right? But a lot was going on under the soil. Then a sapling a tree starts, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, I actually have a legit business. Look at this. People are paying me. I'm helping people. This is the perfect place. This model is perfect for folks like that who feel like they've got a legit business, and that now they just want to take it up. They want to amp it up and get to that solid oak tree where it's a really stable business. It's working almost on auto drive, and they feel like they've got that true balance. They've got their family time and they've got their work time, and they're feeling great about things. So that's where we're at. But what we're going to cover today, a couple of things. This is what was on the page when you sign up for this webinar. First of all, we're going to talk about how to leverage your business model so you can work less hours. Okay, how to leverage your business model so you can work less hours. How to actually get more ideal clients by doing less marketing. So yes, take a sigh of relief. We're going to talk about some simple ways to grow your list. And then let's talk about, well, how do you get it all done, right? How do you get more productive so you can have lots more time off to enjoy your life, to enjoy your family? So that's what we're going to talk about. So let's dive on in. Now, there's a real problem out there. There's a real epidemic, and some of you may be experiencing this epidemic, right? And it just breaks my heart. It truly does. We've got way too many smart, passionate, dedicated businesswomen right now who are struggling, who are working, but aren't seeing the fruits of their labor, right? They've got bits and pieces of their business up and running, but they just know something's missing. They're not seeing results fast enough, and they want the results now, right? They feel like they put in the time. They want the results now. And some folks are even feeling like the business is just taking over, right? They feel like they're putting in more work, more effort than they originally intended. So originally intended. And if you're a similar situation like me, right, where I said, well, I was leaving the corporate world because I wanted more time with my family. What I see happen so often is we do that, but then we end up feeling like we're spending less time with our family, right? We're almost always working. We're working during the day. We're trying to check our email while we're trying to spend quality time with our family. And then on the weekends we're being pulled. And that's that's most likely not why you did this, right? Why you went into this business. And the problem is that so many of you right now have a fear that you may need to go back and get that JOB, right? The fear of, oh my gosh, if this doesn't work, we need money. We need money to live, not only live, but to thrive, right? That fear of, gosh, am I going to go back and get a JOB because of those 2 a.m. sweats? And I'm sure we all know what those are, right? Where you wake up in the middle of the night being like, oh my gosh, am I going to have enough? Are we going to have enough money to cover our expenses for the rest of the month? So this is a problem. It's an epidemic, but it is so much more doable than it probably seems at the moment. And it is doable. What's been getting in the way is, we are blessed that we are definitely in the information age right now. There's so much information. There's no lack of information to tell you all, to tell you ladies how to grow a business. There's not. It's out there, right? Free webinars, teleseminars. There's so much information. Info products. You can buy an info product on anything. How to market with social media, how to market with LinkedIn, how to have sales conversations, how to get your website up and running, right? You can get the information. And some of you may have even invested thousands of dollars, maybe a $10,000 program, and you still feel like you're not where you want to be. Because it's not about the information. It's about taking action. It's about implementing. And it's about learning and tweaking as you go along. Only 20% of you all just naturally, just based on the numbers, are action takers. 80% of people are just going to soak in the information, feel like, well, I already know it, and not actually implement it in their business. So hopefully you all are the 20% of action takers, because that's what it takes to get that business model that you want, is to just, when you're committed to learn, you take it beyond just learning, right, and you get it up and running. And another thing is so many women business owners are getting just so tripped up by the technical aspects of the business, right? Maybe you feel like you haven't, let's say you haven't invested yet in a virtual assistant, and you're like, well, gosh, I don't know when to invest in a virtual assistant, right? Because I need to make money before but it's tripping folks up. You're either just getting paralyzed by it, or you're spending so much of your time and your energy on the technical aspects, right? Or maybe it's that you're paralyzed by fear of failure, fear of success. Gosh, what's going to happen when I do have this business? Is it going to take more time away from my family? Is it going to change me? Or confidence issues. This is something for all of us to struggle with throughout our growing a business. We just need to master it. We need to know we're not alone, and we just master it. But so many folks are just being paralyzed by that, and you're giving more power to that little negative voice that you're hearing, being like, who are you fooling, or you should be making more now, or go back and get a job, and maybe or being paralyzed by perfectionism or information overload. Like I said, there's so much information out there that too many folks are just getting bombarded by it, and you're letting it drag you down, right? Be discriminatory about the information that you let in, and just soak up that information and do something with that information. So it's truly been getting in the way, and it's like I said, it's an epidemic. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this family-focused, streamlined, highly profitable business model that you all want. And first of all, it starts with knowing deep in the core, what is your mountaintop? You know where you're at now in your business, right? And you know those emotions, and you know what you're struggling with, and you know that you don't want to stay here. And you look up to that top of the mountaintop, and you say, I want to get there. That's where I want to get. But you know what? So many women don't stop and say, I want to get there, but where is there? And what does that look like? And what does it look like and feel like deep in the core? And you know what? Until we do that, it's going to be nearly impossible to get there. We're just going to stay in the foothills. We're going to stay where we're at. Maybe move around a bit, but pretty much stay in the same spot. So it starts there. That's the very first thing, is know what is your mountaintop, and feeling it deep in the core and getting really good at this. So your mountaintop as business owners, it's a couple of different things. It's first of all knowing, okay, what does a highly profitable business look like for you? Again, many folks, we pull numbers out of thin air. But let's not do that. I mean, what's that peace of mind number that you're not going to have those 2 a.m. sweats? And let's get you consistently hitting that number. And then actually let's amp it up. Let's not just let you, have peace of mind. Let's build a retirement nest egg. Let's help you grow into this lifestyle that you envision. But let's just start there. What's that highly profitable business? Is it $3,000 a month? Is it $5,000 a month? Is it $6,000 a month? And then figuring out your ideal schedule. So again, my mountaintop. Actually, let me step back. I can let you know that I have recently achieved my mountaintop. I had a clear picture. I was in the foothills and I had a clear picture of where I wanted to be. I've hit my monthly profitability number. I'm working my ideal schedule, right? It used to be I would have thought, really? I can get all of that done from 9 to 3:30 with a half day on Friday? But I'm living my ideal schedule. Now, I had it in my mind way before it actually came to fruition, and I saw it. I got really good at seeing that. And I got really good at living this other part of the puzzle, my ideal favorite work day, right, where I saw, okay, what time am I waking up, and what am I doing, and when do I start working in my office, and what types of things am I doing, and when do I call it quitting time. And so like I said, I have grown into this. So you know what, my mountaintop now, it is high up there. It is high up in the clouds. But I see my new mountaintop, and I see my new monthly profitability number, and I see what my ideal schedule. So like I said, I'm working my ideal schedule now, but you know what? The new schedule I'm working into is only 10 to 2. That's my new mountaintop. Just worked from 10 to 2. My new ideal favorite day. Now, I want to push your imagination here a bit with no limitations. So feel free to jot down a pen. Some of the things that I may share with my new ideal favorite day may resonate with you. And you're like, oh my gosh, yes, that's so what I want to. Or maybe some things you're like, no, that's not really important to me. But I'm going to encourage you to do this exercise where you sit down and you get clear on your mountaintop. And you get clear on, you don't know when or how you're going to start working this perfect, ideal work day, but it's something that you're growing into. And again, when you keep it deep in the core, again, I'm confident you can get there. Super confident you can get there. So this, again, it's a work day, and I know every work is different, but this is a work day that you're going to create from sunrise to sunset, and with no limitations. Okay? I mean, part of it may be thinking you'd love, your young child to go to preschool or a nanny to come in, and you're thinking, I just don't have the money. No limitations. What is your ideal day? A work day that, you know what, if it was like Groundhog Day and you worked it over and over and over again, you're not going to get bored. What does that look like? So again, for me, it is a day, because this is a new day. This is a new ideal day for me. This is my new mountaintop. So I'm not living yet, but I will. All right, so I'm going to be sleeping in a bit more, and I'm going to be waking up about 7. Wake up at 7. I'm going to do my quick workout video. Wake up Dylan. Dylan and I are going to get ready for the morning. It's a very relaxed day. We have a super healthy breakfast. I'm making my green smoothie full of nutritious greens and frozen fruit, and feeling awesome. Driving Dylan to carpool to school. We have those favorite conversations that we have. We have some really pretty deep conversations in carpool line. Really get to connect. I drop him off. And again, remember, I'm not rushing home now because I'm not going to start working at 9. I'm not working until 10. So I come on home, and there's a room in the house we don't have yet, but we will. It is going to be at the very back side of our house, and it's going to be a new room. It's going to be a 2-story room, a double-decker room, all with glass. We're going to feel like we're outside, but we're inside. Now, the room that's going to be on the second floor is going to be coming from my bedroom. Like our bedroom will be one door, and then our bonus room will be the other door. That room is going to be my room, my sanctuary. It is going to be a room after I drop Dylan off. I'm going to go get my delicious cup of coffee. and go into that room in my comfy chair, enjoying my coffee, doing my Bible study time, right? Connecting with God, and then I'm going to be doing some stretching, yoga. I'm actually going to have a yoga instructor come over maybe every couple of weeks and give me sort of a new routine, a personal routine. She's going to come up to this new room, and it's going to be just an enjoyable, relaxing morning. I'm actually, even if it's a Friday, there's going to be a massage therapist who's going to come to me in this room. I picture it. It's going to be fabulous. Okay, now I'm going to go to work, right? So I'm going to work from 10 to 2, go up to my office, and it's just going to be a casual day. Like, it's not too busy. It's actually going to be a day where I'm going to be holding a mentoring group, right, where I'm working with a small group of women, maybe about 6 women. And we get on the phone for about an hour and a half, and we're just diving in and seeing where people are stuck and supporting each other and engaging each other and feeling really supported. And then do a little bit more that day, social media, connecting. And then it's quitting time at 2. But I don't need, my son's school bus doesn't come until about 3:30. So remember, I've got some time. Now, I'm not needing to rush around the house to clean, because my new ideal favorite day is we're going to have our house professionally thorough cleaned once a week. So I'm not rushing. Then I go pick up Dylan, and I actually do watch my neighbor as well. So I could pick up the boys and snack and find out how their day was. And then he's picked up, and I'm cooking a really healthy dinner. Right? Money's no object, so I'm only cooking the best foods, like Whole Foods and farmer's market, and just healthy food, and sipping my glass of wine as I'm making us some dinner, and family dinner around the dinner table. And again, it's just a relaxed evening. Dylan goes to bed. My husband and I just get some R&R time, watching some TV and reading my book, and then go to bed around 10 and ready to do it the next day. So what's your ideal favorite day? And ladies, this is so much more important than you think. So please don't poo-poo this. Know what your mountaintop is. In order to get there, know what your mountaintop is. So again, after this webinar, for those of you who are listening to the webinar, after the webinar, really flush this through and get clear. It starts there. All right, now you're figuring out, you know where you're going, right? Now let's start using your time wisely. We want to really leverage your offerings. And so many women business owners that are service-based women business owners are missing a key ingredient. You're missing that offer that sells itself. And this is a huge paradigm shift for me the last 3 to 6 months of my business. And it's against the norm, right? But most people are not out there buying coaching, right? If I go to your website, you may say, you buy this coaching package, and we're going to talk for an hour every week, and, it's X number of dollars for 60 minutes. Or they're also not buying your process. And that's really how I was describing my programs, was the process, right? We'll identify your ideal client, and then we're going to learn about planning. And that's not an offer that sells itself. People are going to sign up for that because they like me, most likely, and not because they're so hungry for those results. And they're like, really? You can get me there? Great. Let's start working together. And it really, in order to leverage your offerings, it's about knowing, what is your client's mountaintop? What are those results that they are so hungry to get? It's about knowing what that mountaintop is, describing it in their words, and getting them there. And it's a very, I don't want to say generic, but the mountaintop that I am most comfortable, confident of getting women business owners to is that business that is family-focused, streamlined, and highly profitable. Now, what that means for each of you is different, but it generally comes down to, you want to find a way to easily grow your list, right, for your marketing efforts to be on almost auto drive, right, where you've just got these rinse and repeat marketing strategies where you're just getting more and more leads, and you're easily converting those leads to sales, and you're trying to figure out how to get this all done during whatever your ideal schedule is. So instead of providing information, like let's say for me, instead of putting together a coaching package where it's information, which is what I've done in the past, it's figuring out, okay, your mountaintop, how about we do this? How about we grow your list from 100 to 1,000? And how about instead of bringing in $1,000 a month, let's structure your offering so you're bringing in $5,000 a month. And actually, let's have you start getting these sales during the time of us working together. And actually, let's get your schedule up and running during the time of us working together. So do you know what your client's mountaintop is? What is that mountaintop? And do you know how to get them there in the quickest, fastest way, giving them no more or no less information than they need to get to that mountaintop? This is a huge paradigm shift for those of you that are service providers. Now, with leveraging your offerings, if you see down here on the bottom left, one-on-one services and coaching. Now, that is probably where most of us start, right? That's how I started. I was working with folks one-on-one. Actually, as I was building this business, I went back to work so that, we didn't have to stress financially as I was figuring out my business and who was I helping and how was I helping them. And so I was holding these one-on-one coaching calls in my car, in the parking lot, over my lunch hour. But that's where I got to figure out, okay, what results can I get folks? What are some of their common challenges and their struggles? But I can tell you that the business model of getting all of this done in 20 hours a week, the one-on-one coaching doesn't quite work, right? Because you're selling your hours for dollars, and in order to make more money, you either raise your rates or you work more hours. It's a great place to start, and we still want to be able to give those folks that service, right? Get them those results quickly. But we want to figure out how do you get them those results quickly, looking at leveraging your time. So whether it's working with groups or in workshops or retreats, there's lots of different ways to do it. It's not a one-size-fits-all. It's going to really depend on your style and preference, what you enjoy doing. Again, what's going to get your client to that mountaintop in the fastest, easiest way. And then once you do that, right, so I'm really good with that. I have leveraged my time over the last year or so in working with groups. Just taken it up a notch the last 3 months or so. And then you get to be a point where you're like, okay, your business is, working on all cylinders and it's highly profitable. You have a choice. You can either build an empire or build a lifestyle business. And both are great. It's all dependent on what your mountaintop is, right? Where you want to go. When I say build an empire, some of you want to be known in your industry. You want to be on a big stage. You want to have, a huge staff. You want to be offering everything, info products, workshops, live events, coaching groups. You want to do it all, which is great. Some of you, like me, I want to build a lifestyle business. Again, I would like I want things as simple as possible. With one part-time assistant, how do you have that incredibly profitable business with one part-time assistant? So how do you then structure? So I'm not offering all the bells and whistles, right? I'm figuring out what to offer. So I'm getting folks results quickly in a way that, again, easily hitting your profitability numbers, but that in order for me to create that lifestyle that we want, we would like to travel, right? Take the summers off. Like that is my dream. That's what I'm about, is simplification. And again, either way is great. Building an empire or a lifestyle business. But for you to ask yourself that now. Don't go down one track, and then realize, I wanted to go down the other track. So we really want to talk about how to leverage your offerings, and there's absolute ways to do it, through groups, through workshops, through retreats. So it's just figuring that out, what's going to work for you, and get your clients those results. That's what it's about. It is about, you'll be able to start leveraging your offerings when you go much deeper than information. So much of what's out there, of course, info products, but even group programs and even high-level ticket items, $10,000 a year programs, are about information, right? If you can go beyond that and you can help you get your clients results that they are hungry for, yeah, it takes some thinking and brainstorming, figuring that out, because where most of us are going to go is information, right? Well, they need to know this, and then they need to know that, and they need to know that. That's need to know. What are the results? How is life going to be different? Concrete, tangible results in the quickest, fastest path. When you can start thinking that way, and you're able to package that, and you're talking all about the results, not the process. We're going to talk once a week. Not that. They're not buying that. They're buying the results. You painting that picture of that mountaintop, and for them to say, really, you can help me get there? Great. Let's start working together. All right. So we talked about you getting clear on your mountaintop. We talked about thinking beyond trading your hours for dollars and really leveraging what you've got to offer, which gets down to, again, identifying clearly. And so many people, it's hard for them to see initially about the results that you're able to get your clients. And then thirdly, I would like for you to breathe a sigh of relief, because I'm going to actually suggest, truthfully, that you can attract more clients by doing less. I was talking about some epidemics before. This little diamond is the shiny object syndrome that way too many of you are struggling with, right? Oh, I should create a blog, and then, oh, I should create this. Oh, and now I should be on Google+, and now I should be, oh, my goodness. If I were to look at how many blogs have been created that are dormant, right? People aren't even blogging. That's not marketing strategy. You spent so much time and effort and energy, you're not even doing it. Or social media profiles, right? They've got the Facebook page up, but if I were to look at it, they haven't done anything on it, right? They're not communicating. I see it happen and I understand why, because there's so much attention, Blogging has been working for our friend Susie, and she says, you need to be on blogging, you need to be on this, and you need to do that, and we get, so sidetracked. It's not a one-size-fits-all, okay? So don't put your marketing blinders on. That's what these sunglasses are. Remind yourself, I will not be sidetracked by shiny object syndrome. I will not be sidetracked by shiny object syndrome. Put your marketing blinders on and just pick a couple of core strategies and rinse and repeat. Just keep doing those over and over and over again. Get better at them. Get more consistent with them. Less is more when it comes to marketing. And I love this visual. I just wish it was a lady in a dress. But this is what I see happening, is you work so hard, right, on getting this website up and running. And it's all your time and effort, and you're pushing that rock up the hill. But you know what? You get sidetracked, and you move on to another thing, and you let that boulder roll back down before you got to experience the joy of it going on the other side, right? You're working so hard. Let that boulder go down the other side where it's like, whee! Where you're like, oh, my gosh, look at this. These new clients, these ideal clients are coming out of the woodwork because of your consistency. That's what it takes. So that boulder, just push a couple boulders up the hill. And then, again, you experience the other side. Another thing I love to share is that when it comes to marketing, like I said, it's not a one-size-fits-all. I'm not going to tell you all you should be on Pinterest, and you should be blogging, and you should be giving presentations, and you should be doing this, and you should be doing that. If it feels icky, don't do it. It's not a one-size-fits-all. And hopefully that gives you a sigh of relief. Less is more when it comes to marketing. So I would encourage folks, just pick a couple of core strategies. Get really good at them. Get good and consistent. Keep finding ways that you're able to do these strategies to the fullest. And that's what it takes. And then you know what you do is you figure out, okay, what are those 3 core strategies? Again, like I said, it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. There are strategies that fit your personality, that feel right to you, that don't feel icky to you. Strategies where you can connect to your ideal client, where they're going to be open to hearing your message. And things that you can commit to doing consistently, since that's what it's about, right? It's not, again, pushing that boulder up the hill. It's about consistency. All right, and then once you've got them, it's essentially, I love this little visual, rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. One wonderful way is to speak by simply even, like, let's say, those of you who are service-based providers, by simply doing, let's say, a webinar once a month, the amount of people that you're able to add to your list, the amount of people that are able to hear you. Most people are going to be listening to the recording, making sure you've got that all on auto drive, right, that you get the recording and you send that out. They're able to experience you. There's nothing quite like hearing people on a webinar to increase that know, like, and trust factor where people start hearing you. And you're either going to resonate with them or not. So that's a great strategy if it feels like you as a service-based provider, a rinse and repeat. You just do a webinar. Do a webinar once a month. There's lots to it, right? But after you get your first couple under your belt, it's like on auto drive, truly. All right, so now let's talk about how do you get it all done. And I am a firm believer in creating your success calendar. This visual, you probably have heard Stephen Covey's, putting in your big rocks in your life first. And that's why this visual is great. What are those big rocks in your life that are so important to you? Spending time with your family, your health and wellness, taking care of your financial health, volunteering. What are the things that are so important to you that if we don't actually sit on down and realize that they're a priority and figure out generally when are we going to do these types of things, all of our life, or that whole glass jar is going to be filled with sand, right, which is all just life, responding to life, reacting to life. But what so many of us do is we don't put those big rocks in there first. So you just fill that glass cylinder with sand, right, with life, just responding and being reactive to life. But then what we find is then there's no room to put those big rocks. And we find ourselves saying, I don't have time to exercise. I don't have time to manage my money. Oh my gosh, when's the last time I went on date night with my husband? So let's not do that. Let's figure out what are your big rocks, and let's get them scheduled into your calendar. Now, these are my big rocks. These are my 8 big rocks, is figuring out dedicated time to work my business. Dedicated time for me to grow professionally into the businesswoman that I want to become. Dedicated time with my husband, with my son, with my family. My own exercise, my health, my wellness. My personal growth. Me as a person, right, aside from my business, that I'm filling my own bucket with my own hobbies. Faith and inspiration, that I've got that quiet time, that I've got part of a small group. Like, what does that look like for you? Finances, that you're getting your financial house in order. Community and making a difference. So that I'm volunteering in Dylan's school. Every year, those big rocks may be different, but these are my 8 categories. And then what I'm going to put on my plate each year might be different, right? There's going to be some years where it's important that I volunteer in Dylan's school, and there's going to be some years where that's not going to be as important, right? And just making a choice. We can't fit everything into our schedule, or else we feel like we're spread so thin and we're not doing anything exceptionally well. So you figure those out, and then what I do, like I said, I create a success calendar. I create an ideal week. And I look at an ideal week and just get it down on paper. It doesn't need to be anything pretty. But those big rocks, like I figure out, okay, with working out, my health is important. Well, when am I going to work out? How can I fit it into my schedule where it's just like a habit? See, for me, it's the first thing that I do when I wake up, just during the week. Just do a little bit of exercise. I don't even think about it, right? The alarm goes off, my feet hit the ground, I go do that. And I do my Bible study time. So again, that's just how I start the morning. And then it gets into your business as well. So with calendar blocking, there's no question for me about what I'm going to do. Almost every Monday is pretty much the same. Almost every Tuesday is pretty much the same. Right? Monday's an office day. And I don't schedule anything else on a Monday. And I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to plan out my business. I'm going to get my emails down to 0. That's my day. The afternoon, it's my learning time. So it's my own professional development time. Tuesdays and Thursdays are time with my clients. That's when I'll be holding my one-on-one coaching calls. Fridays, I know Fridays are going to be the day that if I'm scheduling something for myself, a massage, getting my hair cut. That's my Fridays. So creating as much routine, again, I know some of you may be thinking, Claire, come on now. I don't want to structure the heck out of my life. Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm not like that either, even though folks probably feel like I am. But you know what? When you create some structure, it gives you so much more freedom. It does. And a lot of you, there was a question that was submitted about making calls, right? It's saying, I set aside time to call people, which is so important in my business, but I always seem to find other things to do, right? So how do I do this? And making calls is a real great example of calendar blocking. Maybe Thursday is your time that you schedule calls, and you just get in such a routine. Before your feet hit the ground Thursday morning, this is my day that I'm just getting on the phone, and I'm calling people. I'm touching base with people. And when you're able to do that, I call it grouping like activities together, you really get in the swing of things. You really get in the swing of things. And that's just what you do. So when you can actually really embrace calendar blocking, it is going to give you so much more time. Instead of having a day where, you run and go give a presentation, and then you run and you go to a doctor's appointment, and then you run and go do an errand, and then you go and you do a blog post. It's like, oh my gosh, you feel like you are exhausted at the end of the day, and it wasn't a great use of your time. And if I'm going to be out and about, there's days that I know that I'm going to be out and about. It used to be my Wednesdays. Now it's going to be my Fridays. So that's the day I'm going to run errands. If I'm going to meet someone for coffee, that's going to be the day that I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do that on a Monday. Monday, I know, is an office day, right? Pure and simple. So the coolest thing is you're the boss, and you create your most ideal success calendar, your ideal week. In a perfect ideal week, when are you going to fit these things in? And then start growing into that success calendar. It is life-changing. It truly is life-changing. And lastly, the way to get it all done, right, in a very short period of time, like most of you want to work part-time hours, is to just create a couple of simple systems in place to create an organized environment. And I can tell you that I am not a naturally neat person at all. Anyone can tell you that. I mean, at the end of the day, my desk looks a mess. But you know what? A simple system then is I gather everything up, and I just have a big physical inbox in my office, and I just put all the things there, and then I end the day with a clean desk. And then in the morning, I get really good at going through all those papers and making decisions. Do I need to do anything with this or not? Is it garbage or recycle, or am I filing it away? Is there a to-do? And that also goes into your emails. Way too many of you have overflowing email inboxes, and I can tell you right now it is robbing you of your time, of your energy, of your sanity, of your creativity. So the sooner you can manage your email. Now, I love a system called Getting Things Done by David Allen, Getting Things Done, and that's actually what I teach on. I love it, love it, love it. Then you figure out a system that you make it your own. Because, again, it's not, just like anything else, an organization system isn't a one-size-fits-all. But it's a commitment I would ask that you consider is that you get your email inboxes down to 0. Now, I'm not living in my email, but at least once a week, that Monday when I'm in my office, one of the things I'm going to do on Monday is make sure all my email inboxes are down to 0. Meaning that I have made decisions. Do I need to do anything with this email or not? Am I saving it? Am I needing to, I'm not doing anything with it now, but I want to be reminded of this in 2 months, and then I set up that tickler. Or is there a to-do now? Is there something I need to do? And then you make sure you get that on your to-do list. So if this is an area that you're struggling with, I definitely encourage you to check out David Allen's Getting Things Done. And again, it's just a couple of simple systems. But an organized environment equals an organized mind. And when our mind is disorganized, you're going to feel like you're spinning your wheels. You're going to feel like a chicken with her head cut off, running around. And so this is absolutely key, absolutely key. All right, so creating this family-focused, streamlined, profitable business model, again, is a lot easier than you think. And it's not about working more, and it's not about doing more. first of all, I'm going to ask that you get clear on your mountaintop, right? Through that rest of that activity. What will be your perfect, most ideal average work day? A day that you can work, over and over and over again and not get bored. Remember, with no limitations. None. So get super clear on that mountain that you're about to climb and what it's going to feel like when you get to the top of the mountaintop. And again, don't rush through that. Don't poo-poo that exercise and feel like, oh my gosh, I just want more clients. This is such a common principle. Ask anyone who has achieved their level of success, and they'll tell you that they are so clear. They have this burning desire to get to the top of the mountaintop, whatever language they may use, but they have this burning desire. And they get really good at feeling what it's going to be like to get there. And again, they don't a lot of times know how or when they're going to get there, but they keep that visual. So get clear on that mountaintop and actually see yourself climbing the mountain. You get to the top of the mountaintop and you've raised your hands up far and say, I am here. How are you going to know you're there? Then it takes leveraging your offering. So getting away as much as possible from trading your hours for dollars. And it gets at how you do that is to know what your client's mountaintop is and just describe it in a way that they're like, really, yes, that is what I want. You can help me get there? And for you to figure that out, again, think very differently from how 95% of training and service-based businesses are built right now. Differently. Think differently. It's a paradigm shift. You want to identify how to get them results to the mountaintop the quickest, easiest way with no more, no less than what they need. Again, remembering that attracting more ideal clients by doing less. You can get a lot of things off of your plate by actually just being super consistent with your core marketing strategies and get them to be where they're just rinse and repeat. You just keep on doing those things. Creating your success calendar, right? Figuring out what those big rocks are and just pulling out a sheet of paper and just, Monday through Sunday. And when are you generally going to do these things? So where those big rocks, and then giving some themes to your days, right? And then just start living into that success calendar. And again, the sooner that you can put some organization to your environment, even if you're working at the dining room table, we want to know where we're going to work and that it's a place that we can think. And again, you don't need to be a naturally neat person because I'm not. But that's what it takes. And hopefully you can see that. Hopefully you see I'm not nothing special. I'm not. Other folks who are at the top of the mountaintop aren't anything special. They just did these things. They were clear on their mountaintop. They figured out how to use their time wisely, how to get people results, right? That's what they figured out, how to structure their time. So it's 100% possible. But you may be thinking, oh, my gosh, Claire, it looks like Mount Everest right now, and I'm at the bottom of the mountaintop, and I just don't see how I can do it. I'm not sure how I could do that. I'm not sure what a result, an offer that sells itself could look like for me. I'm just not seeing it. I'm not seeing how I can go beyond just one-on-one coaching. I'm not seeing how I can hit my profitability number while only working 20 hours a week. You may be just seeing, I can't see it, Claire. So again, if we've never had the chance to talk, let's do it. No obligation. Let's just get on the phone. Let's just chat. Let's see what this can look like for you. A lot of times it's with some small shifts, a paradigm shift, by getting really clear on your offer and getting really clear on how you can get it all done within your ideal schedule. So actually I'm going to invite you to go to talkwithclaire.com. This talkwithclaire.com. And I'm blocked out time on my calendar the rest of this week and next week for these conversations. I can't talk with everybody. The sooner you can actually get to talkwithclaire.com and get your information submitted, the better. And then you'll hear back from my virtual assistant within a day or two to let you know if we're able to chat and find some days and times for us to get on the phone. And let's just talk this through. Okay? Because there's a question here, right? You can I see the possibilities in you without us even chatting. Do you see the possibilities? Right? You're at a point now. You can keep on doing what you're doing, or you can figure out, okay, how can I think differently? What could that look like for me? What could a family-focused, streamlined, highly profitable business look like for me? So again, I'm going to invite you to go to talkwithclaire.com and let's chat. Let's talk about this. Okay? Because again, folks who are where they're at the top of the mountaintop, aren't special. They're no different than you. It's just figuring out where there might be some kinks to your business model right now. Is it at the very top where you don't have those rinse and repeat marketing strategies? You don't have a plan to get new and new leads each month? Or maybe you're getting these leads, but they're just not converting. You don't have that offer that sells itself, or it's just not a real easy conversion. Or maybe you're doing that, but you feel like you're working 80 hours a week, and you're always thinking about your business, which I can tell you, the amount of time you put into your business does not equal the results in your business. A lot of times it's flipped. You get to the point where you're working your business way too much that it's actually negative results in your business, even though I know that sort of sounds counterintuitive. But hopefully you can see the possibilities. Again, not with working more or working less. Not with working more and working harder. That with less is more. Truly. Less is more. All right, so I hope we get the opportunity to chat. Again, just go to talkwithclaire.com. And I'll be sending out this webinar recording to all the ladies who missed the call. I know we had a ton of people who signed up, and give them that opportunity as well to chat. But all right, I wanted to see if there's any questions in the chat function here. But I think we are good. All right, ladies, I just appreciate your time. And again, hopefully you're ending this webinar on fire, being like, oh my gosh, Claire believes in me. I could do this. I could so do this. And you can. Without me even knowing you, yes. Yeah, it's going to take some shifts, right? It's figuring out, well, how do I get new leads every month? And how do I have that offer that sells itself? And what's my conversion mechanism from those leads to people actually getting into these offers? So again, love the opportunity to chat. Just go to talkwithclaire.com. And until next time, know, ladies, that I am cheering you on. You guys have a good one. Take care, everyone. Bye.